with me today. He's a two-time PRCA announcer of the year and a seven-time IFR announcer. Plus, he's gonna be announcing a rodeo that's like half an hour from me, and I might just have to go. So, question: how'd you get your start in announcing in the sound business for rodeo?
I got started pretty young. My mom and dad both were rodeo contestants, so I tell people I didn't grow up in a baseball family or a football family. I grew up in a rodeo family. And I knew at a pretty young age that I didn't really have a desire to compete in the arena. The announcer stand kind of drew my attention, drew my focus, and just kind of made the steps to become an announcer. I started doing the slack at rodeos when I was about 6 or 7. Uh, I started doing jackpot steer wrestlings tied at 12 years old. It was an IPRA rodeo in Butler, Missouri, and never looked back. Snowball effect, I guess you could say. And I've never regretted a moment of it. I mean, I've been all over the world and back a couple times. The power of a microphone has taken me to Australia, all across Canada, all across the United States. So I've met some of my best friends in the world. I met my wife rodeoing. So it's been an incredible journey that all started just because I had the God-given gift of gab, and I guess I put it to good use.
Yeah. What's your favorite rodeo you've announced so far?
Oh gosh, you're gonna get me in trouble if they listen to this and I don't say their rodeo. Honestly, I've been a part of some really cool events, from Cheyenne Frontier Days to the American, to, like you said, the one that's 30 minutes down the road for you, the Farm City Pro Rodeo in Hermiston. Um, Gosh, I don't know. I got to do the very first national finals breakaway roping back in 2020 when we were in Arlington. I mean, it's just been an amazing opportunity from the rodeos I've done in Eastern Canada. That I used to do a rodeo that was literally as far north as paved roads go in Kapuas Casing, Ontario. So just some incredible places. Like I said, the people I've met, the things I've seen. But it's hard to really pick one. The Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo is a huge rodeo that's lots of tradition and history that takes a month to complete. It's really, and I promise I'm not just giving you a cop out answer. It just really is hard to pick my favorite one.
There's a lot of good ones for sure.
Yeah.
Is there a rodeo you haven't announced yet or work that you want to announce? Like, are there a lot?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, anybody would tell you they want to do the national finals rodeo, and I'm no different. I still want to do that. And there are other rodeos. Like, it'd be awesome to do Pendleton, Red Bluff, Calgary, Houston. Um, those big iconic events. But what's cool about our sport is it's ever changing, ever evolving. Um, you know, 6 months ago, uh, the new rodeo, actually, as we sit here today, the new rodeo in Nashville, Tennessee, is coming up this weekend, and the Music City Rodeo. That's, I can already tell you, that's going to be an awesome event. And I'm jealous of Andy Seiler, who's going to get to announce the first one there at Bridgestone Arena. So, you never know what tomorrow brings. There may be another amazing event announce its presence tomorrow. So that's what's cool and kind of keeps you on the edge, is what's coming tomorrow in the rodeo business. So there are some long-standing rodeos that I'd love to do, but there's also some new kids on the block that I'd love to announce. So just got to sit and see what every day takes.
That's for sure. Like, you got because you got some of the greatest rodeos, like, around me, anyways. Like, you either got to go north or south. Because you got Puyallup, which is like 4 hours away. Then you got Pendleton, Farm City, High Desert Stampede, and you got St. Paul, Oregon, which is on the other side of the state.
Hmm. And even like you mentioned the High Desert Stampede, I've gotten to do it the last 2 years. Um, that's a rodeo that's a big rodeo, playoff rodeo, and is only about 7 or 8 years old. So, in the grand scheme of rodeo, it's an infant. It's still, it's not even a teenager yet. So for those guys and gals that have put that rodeo together and grown it exponentially in such a short time, it's an awesome rodeo to be part of. So, kind of going back to an earlier question, every rodeo's got its little something special, and I don't think there's one on the planet that I don't want to do. It's just a matter of making them all fit in 52 weeks of the year.
How many rodeos do you do about a year?
I'll work about 40 weeks a year, and it's hard to put a number because, like for instance, the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo takes 4 weekends. It takes a month to do, where majority of rodeos take 1 weekend to do. Cheyenne takes 2 weekends. I'm trying to think. Colorado Springs, the NFR Open that I'm going to this year, is a week long. So they're most of the time they're a weekend. So I'd say event wise, somewhere between 35 and 40, but sure, probably 40 weeks a year on the road.
Staying busy for sure.
Yeah.
So this is so what I asked you earlier is what rodeo are you currently at right now?
I am at the Old Fort Days Rodeo here in Fort Smith, Arkansas, which is another rodeo that's very steep in tradition. This is their 92nd year. Still one of those old school rodeos that's got the big grand entry. Last night was our opening night performance, and the grand entry alone takes about 20 minutes. There's probably somewhere between 300 and 400 horses that ride in the grand entry, from horses to mules to minis to Clydesdales. I mean, there is all shapes and sizes that come from the hills, and their one time a year to come to town is to ride in the grand entry of the Old Fort Days. And it takes a minute, but it's worth watching. It's a cool part of a historic rodeo like this, and phenomenal crowds. And that kind of the family tradition around here is that on Memorial Day you take the family, you load up, and you go to the Old Fort Days Rodeo. So it's a really special rodeo to be a part of. Growing up, I grew up about 2 hours from here, so growing up, you always heard about the Old Fort. Kind of like you with the Pendleton Roundup. You always heard
Yeah.
about the Pendleton Roundup, and here, you always heard of the Old Fort Days. So, I hate the circumstances that I was able to come here. Mike Mathis announced this rodeo for many years, and he passed away, and I got the opportunity to come here. But I guess I'm thankful that I did get the opportunity, even though it wasn't the way anybody wanted to. So this rodeo is kind of special, close to home, and a lot of history, tradition. 6 performances, great rodeo. So this is another good one to be at.
Like with Pendleton, I grew up we me and my buddy we'd always get like box seats right behind the court and we'd just sit there and
Mm-hmm.
watch them and I thought Pendleton had a long grain entry and that because theirs is about 20 minutes and they only
Yeah,
got the
sometimes they become more parades than grand entries.
that's what Pendleton is, it feels like, because they got all the queens and they do a lap around the track and then you got the
Mm-hmm.
flag guy and then you got all the flags going around a circle and here comes the president of the roundup going around, and a lot
Yeah.
of times the president they don't go very fast on the back of the horse.
Mm.
Except this year, our president is the first president that served on the roundup court before she became a director or a president. and she's one of the
Awesome.
better ones that can ride a horse.
Perfect.
Um, yeah, and she's doing pretty good. And she's the first female president of the roundup too, which is cool.
Is that Tia?
Yeah, it's Dia DeGroft.
Yeah. Yeah, she's awesome.
She's nice to me.
Yeah, she's cool. She's
I
cool.
don't get into too much trouble when I'm down at the grounds, just
Well, that's
hanging
good.
out.
That's good.
But yeah, so oh crap, I lost my train of thought. Um, where'd you where do you come from? In like part of the U.S.
I grew up in Pryor, Oklahoma, which is up in the northeast corner, about 45 minutes northeast of Tulsa. Moved to Weatherford, Texas in December of 22, and I've lived there since. Um, I mean, just kind of drew me down there. I mean, I still love Oklahoma and love where I came from. My mom and dad still live in Pryor, but just something drew me to North Texas and the opportunities that it brought, and just kind of better logistics for travel, and you know, especially in January when Fort Worth's going on. It's 35 minutes from my house to Dickies Arena, so it's nice being close to there, and being able to run home if I need something for a rodeo that runs that long. Um, but yep, I tell people I'm an Oklahoman that just lives in Texas. They haven't fully taken the Okie out of me yet.
Yeah, isn't Coleman Proctor from Pryor?
Yep, he is. He lives about a mile and a half as the crow flies from where I used to live, where my mom and dad still live. So, yeah, he's a long time. And we still call each other neighbors, even though I moved to Texas. So I love Coleman to death.
That's sick, and he's doing pretty well this year too. I've
Yeah,
seen.
yeah, he is. He's one of my favorites for sure.
Anyone then he won the all around at Pendleton I saw last year, which was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
the all around at Cheyenne and the all around in Pendleton in the same year for a timed eventer. That's awesome.
Because Stetson Wright wasn't there to ride. Feels like
Yeah,
feels like
that helped.
if Stetson wasn't there, I feel like a lot of people would have a lot more give and get in the all around.
Yeah, Stetson, he can rain on some parades in the all around. That's for sure.
I met him when he came to Pendleton while they were recording the Rodeo Roadshow or whatever it is for the Cowboy Channel.
Yeah.
I told him, "How long do you think it'll be till you get on the back of a bucking horse again?" He said, "Whenever my dad lets me," because Cody was telling him, "You gotta wait it out. You gotta wait it out."
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say he waited the right amount of time. I mean, he from the time he got back in the chute again, he's been just like the Stetson of old. I mean, I remember back in January, I got to see him at the American Regional Finals in Las Vegas, and he got on a horse and a bull there, and I mean, the bucking horse looked phenomenal, and he advanced on there. The bull bucked him off, but I mean, he still looked good. He just drew a rank son of a gun, and it's just amazing. I mean, that guy, athleticism, he's on a whole nother level. Just his mental state is amazing, and his his happy-go-lucky attitude. I mean, I'm a Stetson fan, and I think I tell people he's good for business. I mean, he's good for the industry. He's good for the sport. He's good for the cowboy code. Yeah, he's got a fan in me.
A lot of people in Pendleton, they're like, "I'm a fan of Stetson Wright," and then I tell them, "Do you know of any like saddle bronc riders or bull riders?" A lot of them don't know any other than like Stetson Wright. When
Yeah,
when I'm in the back when I'm hanging out, what I do during Pendleton is I hang out with the rope and stock, or I sit right behind the buck and shoots, like the first row back, and I just
Mm-hmm.
talk with all the rough stock cowboys, and then I got to know Stetson really well, and I got to know Brody Cress really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Brody, I mean, mental wise, he's another one of those just fierce competitors. I mean, he gets laser focused. I mean, he'll have fun with you, but when it's game time, he is laser focused, and you just see when he climbs down in the chute that he has got one thing on his mind, and it's nothing but first place. And I mean, I think it's cool to see that our sport, our lifestyle, even has evolved from just a bunch of drunk cowboys trying to ride bucking horses to now guys taking it seriously to the point where they are true athletes, from conditioning programs to rehab programs to sports medicine programs, workout routines, dietary plans, all the things that truly make you an athlete. Our guys are taking it that serious now. So are we on the same level as NFL and NBA and MLB? No. Could we be there someday? Maybe. But it's little things like that that help us get taken seriously. So I think it's cool to watch those guys, perform like true athletes.
and and being like a PRCA rodeo athlete, like in the MLB, you got a chance of being drafted, or like the NBA, you got a chance of being drafted. When in the PRCA, if you get enough under your feet or whatever, like you get enough under you while you're rodeoing, then if you have enough like heart in you and enough will, you can get your pro card and hit up like the circuit rodeos and just try it out. And if it works, it
Mm-hmm.
works. Which I find it cool how you can just you can get after you do your amateur rodeos or whatever, you get your pro card. Then because you're the I like rodeo because MLB they pay you millions of bucks, and like
Mm-hmm.
some people on your team you hardly know. But with like
Right.
rodeo, you can find some of your best friends in a rodeo that's halfway across the country,
Right. Yeah,
and
it
you
is
can.
cool. I mean, the camaraderie is second to none, and like you said, you meet some of your lifelong best friends, and the stories you get to tell, and the travels and the experiences. Man, I think it's something that you can never put a price tag on, because I mean you'll never be able to recreate those memories again. So when you get them, the part that'll last forever is being able to look back and tell the stories when when you retire. So I think it's cool that we have those opportunities in rodeo to travel and meet the people and see the places.
That's yeah, that's what it is down to the bone, literally. But
Mm.
there's one guy I met at Pendleton while he was helping out Luke Branquino and his crew or whatever. I met Kaycee Feild.
Mm.
Now, him and his dad both won Pendleton. And then I just saw Casey's getting
Yep.
inducted into the Pendleton Roundup Hall of Fame, which will be.
Oh, that's awesome.
They put it up on the side of the building before they tell anybody. Because he's
Oh,
got a.
cool. That's
What?
cool.
It's cool how Kaycee Feild, he, he certainly had quite the career. That's for sure.
And oh yeah, I mean, the term goat gets thrown around a lot, but I mean I think there's no guy that's more fitting of the moniker than him. I mean, for winning the most world titles, to all the rodeos that he won and all the big moments that he gave us riding bucking horses, following in and then breaking through and things with his dad's career in shadow. Um, you know, and then to go out. No, he didn't go out in the way he wanted to, but to go out at a time where he was still, able to go out. He wasn't forced into retirement. He just decided he was done, and then to come back out for the American this year, and do, very well at. But that guy he's very smart. I mean, he's not just smart with his own rodeo career. He's a businessman. He's an entrepreneur. He's always looking for how to improve something, whether it be a business or rodeo itself. I mean, he gives back a lot to Utah High School Rodeo and helping his nephews and their friends and stuff. So, I'm proud to call Kaycee a friend also, and I cherish the moments that I got to call him in the arena, and then I cherish the moments that I've gotten to hang out with him outside the arena. So, that guy, he's cool. He's honestly a cool dude that our sport owes a lot to.
I'd call him the GOAT.
No,
Because
I agree. I agree.
when I was watching the ceremony when he got inducted in the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame, he was like, "I'll accept the term the GOAT since a world
Yeah.
champion called me it out of Dave Appleton."
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming on. It was great talking to you.
Yep. Thank you for having me.